Hey y'all, it's your girl Kitty Cat, and here on my channel you can find videos about advice, beauty, and lifestyle. Today's video is all about what to expect when dating a felon. At first, I had this idea to make this video, and then like right before I was about to film it, I got nervous and was not going to film it, and then I had to sit with that, like, well, why don't you want to film it? And I think it's just, when you date a felon, there's not a ton of positives that go with it, and I don't like to be negative. It's reality, it's the truth, and if you've never dated a felon before, I think these are things you should know. Or if you are dating a felon right now and looking for some resources, then this is the video for you. I was in a relationship with a felon for a little over 2 years, and what he got his felony for, it was something that he actually didn't do, so that's why I didn't really have a problem with it. One thing I will say before we really get into everything is I do believe that people can change. Everybody deserves at least a second chance. Maybe not a third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth chance, but a second chance to get things right, I think, is human. This is what to expect when dating a felon. First question I'll pose is it bad to date a felon? I personally don't think it's bad to date a felon. I think it all comes down to what the charge was, how long ago was it, are they reformed, are they still making those choices that they made before? Hi. The thing with dating a felon is it's really tough being a felon. I mean, I'm not a felon, but like, being in close proximity to one for a really long time and just seeing what they experience, it follows them through the rest of their life. It is truly painful to see, especially when people do change. And that's probably the first thing that I would start with, is there's always going to be a stigma when dating with a felon, because people hear that word and they immediately think the worst, and some people may judge you for it. Even though you're not a felon, it's because you're associated with one. People may judge them for it, which is really, unfortunate. There's a lot of things they can't do. For example, like, they can't vote, they can't get food stamps, they cannot apply to live in public housing. It's really hard for felons to find work. There are only like certain jobs that felons can have, and a lot of those jobs are like strenuous physical labor, so like construction or working in a hot kitchen at Chili's. They often end up working in occupations that are maybe viewed as undesirable, because a lot of companies won't hire felons, which is so hard. They did the crime, they did their time, or they didn't even do the crime, but they did the time. They just want a second chance, and it's so hard because it's something that they're always gonna have to deal with, and it's really tough because that weighs on their self-esteem and their self-confidence, always knowing that that's like something that people may judge them on, and that they may not be able to get in life where they want to go because their felony's holding them back. A lot of times felons will feel like they may always have to look over their shoulder depending on what happened or what's going on, so it's just like always carrying that stress all the time. They may not like the police or law enforcement. Prison, jail is not a fun place. If you're in jail or if you're in prison, like, I feel like that is a place where your spirit can get so broken. You're stripped away from human connection, your family, your friends, the people you love, your life, and you're behind bars because of whatever situation. They may have a really hard time trusting you, trusting people, and they may sleep with one eye open. I know my ex did. He definitely slept with his eyes open. They may have a low self-esteem when it comes to their felony and finding jobs and meeting your family, meeting people, because again of that stigma, and that word just carries so much negative weight. It doesn't matter how you look at it, people sometimes will judge, and that's so hard to deal with. You also got to watch out for some felons, because some felons may not be 100% honest with you about certain things. They may not be honest with you about why they got a felony. They may have secrets that they're not sharing with you until later on. For example, I was dating a felon, and I would say maybe like 8 months into dating him, I found out that he had a warrant. That was kind of scary. Like, just anytime we were in the car, it was like, you need to make sure you're driving good, because if we get pulled over, I'm going to jail. So it's just like that extra pressure all the time to not mess up, to not get pulled over, to not get into any bad situation where the police could come and potentially take your man to jail. A lot of them may have like little sneaky secrets, and I would say if you're dating a felon, I would maybe spend that money and like get a background check on them, just to have your own peace of mind, because they may not always share with you, especially if it was a felon that was previous to meeting them. You don't really know what it was, and Google will only tell you so much. If you want actual background check information, you do have to pay for it. This is not for all felons. A lot of people who have been in and out of jail, or they've lived a life of crime, it may be kind of hard for them to like reacclimate to the regular world. They've been in jail so long that like that's more comfortable to them than being out on the outside. Some of them are not as ambitious, or they can be a little mediocre. And it's not because something's wrong with them, but I think it's just because they're not really given an opportunity to thrive. If there was maybe a policy in place or something where, you know, maybe certain kinds of felony charges, those people could go out and get any kind of job that they are qualified for, instead of being given a short list of, hey, these are the places you can go work, you know, and they're all like retail, fast food, construction, warehouse. They don't have the options to apply to anything that they want unless they start a business on their own. A lot of them are broken inside. They've been broken down by the system. We already know our justice system is corrupt. There are so many people who are in jail that really shouldn't be. There are certain crimes that, yes, you should go to jail for, but I think there are certain crimes that there needs to be some other way to deal with that besides putting people in jail. They also may struggle with PTSD and other mental health issues, depending on their lifestyle, what they've been through. They've obviously been through some things, and they have also probably seen things that have stuck with them for a long time. Dating anybody who's in and out of jail, they may have a lot of traumatic stress and just mental health issues overall. Just because somebody's a felon doesn't mean that they don't have a big heart, doesn't mean that they don't have the ability to love you. So I don't think dating a felon is bad. It's all depending on the circumstance. Everybody's story is so different. It really is a personal call. Just know that if you're dating a felon, they're going through a lot. It may not be every day, all the time, that their felony affects them, but there will be a day and there will be a time that their felony affects them. And because it affects them so heavily, it's gonna affect you, and it could possibly put a strain on your relationship. So I hope this video was helpful for you, and I hope that you have a little bit more clarity going into this experience. What are some of your tips for dating a felon, or what to expect? Let us know down in the comments below so we can all learn from each other. And I'll see y'all in my next video. Bye.